What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mevo Live. My name is Will Kirkpatrick, and I'm a senior technical specialist here at Mevo. And if you're new to this show, welcome. We do live shows twice a week. We've got a show on Tuesday and a show on Thursday, both at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, the Tuesday show is mostly Ask Mevo Anything, so you can ask any one of our technicians any questions that you have. And then Thursday's show, we get to kind of do more of a deep dive into a specific topic. And today we're going to be talking all about multicam, which is obviously really exciting for me. I'm constantly playing with the multicam app and have done the multicam live show in the past. And so today we're going to get into that. But of course, if you have any questions about Mevo, about multicam, about Mevo 2.0, please put them in chat and I will definitely jump into them in a little bit. So let me tell you a little bit about my setup right now. For audio, I'm using a blue microphone. This is a blue Bluebird. And then it is connected to a little audio mixer, which is an M audio mixer. And then going back out into the Mevo Start using a 3.5 millimeter TRS cable. And then that Mevo Start is connected to a Mevo Power over Ethernet adapter and broadcasting NDI to my computer, which I'm using a nice MacBook. And on that computer, I'm using OBS. And the reason that I'm using OBS instead of just multicam is so that I can kind of give you the demos as well. So I can pull up the multicam app here or switch to a different scene and kind of just walk you through everything. And so that is why we've got that set up. And then it even gets a little bit more complicated because I have the cameras that are connected to the multicam app are bringing in audio from different sources as well. So the multicam app, you can connect up to 3 Mevos at a time. They can be Mevo Start, Mevo First Gen, or Mevo Plus. They can be connected Wi-Fi or Ethernet. And so all of my Mevos doing the multicam app right now, they're all connected to Wi-Fi. And each has their own individual audio source. So one is using the internal microphones of the Mevo, another is using the Mevo Mic app, and then a third one is connected to an iPad, which is playing music and sound effects. And you can bring all of this into your multicam stream or recording, and it's really great because you can not only choose one microphone at a time, depending on which kind of audio source you want, but you can also mix them a little bit. So if you wanted that music and you wanted that a little bit low, but you wanted the internal mics of the other camera, or you wanted to bring in a secondary microphone using the Mevo Mic app, you can do that as well. So I just wanted to show the different variables that you can use there. And so yeah, that's my setup. Let me dive into the app a little bit. So let's see. We'll go for the full screen. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of Mevos connected to my network right now. I've got 2 already connected to the Mevo multicam app, and I want to obviously connect that third. So let's see. Third one I want is the nice wide shot. Quickly connects, hit done, and boom. There you go. Now you can see, and I'm actually going to pull up my little side screen here so you can see what happens as I tap around. So it's really easy to switch between the Mevos that you have set up, and it gives you this nice overview of everything that's going on as well. And so let me show you, obviously, the very big, important key features of the multicam app. So recording, and this is something that I talk about a lot because the recording feature is really, really good. Not only can you record directly to your device, but you can also do ISO recording. And to kind of get into that a little bit, so recording to device, super useful. You know, with the Mevo 2.0 app, it has to save to the micro SD card, and then you have to either transfer it wirelessly onto your device or connect it to a computer. But with the multicam app, it will save directly into your default Photos app. And that's really great because it makes it so much easier to just share that instantly. So if you have a quick clip that you want to share on a social network, or you want to email it or text it to a bunch of friends, then you can do that by just using the record to device, which is really cool. Let me pull this up so you can kind of see what's going on as I talk. So record to device, really cool, great for sharing. But of course, you're limited to what it records is just the output. So whatever you're switching to, whatever effects you use, that's what's being recorded. But if you use ISO recording, that will record what each Mevo is seeing the entire time. So if I wanted to do ISO recording, which is the second one down here, then that means that each and every one of the shots is just constantly recording what they're seeing. So no matter what I do, no matter what switching I do between shots, it will always record whatever all of them are seeing. And what's great about this is not only can you bring these files in from your micro SD card to a computer and edit them up however you want, but and you can also have a record of everything going on the entire time. So if you're recording some sport or a podcast or something where you don't know specifically where the action is happening or where the important thing is happening, and you can't predict that and switch fast enough, the ISO recording will constantly record, and so you won't ever miss anything, which is really, really great. So I really, really like the recording feature on the Multicam app. I think it's very very good for just all these different types of situations. And that's really kind of what the Multicam app and the Mevo in general is about, is being able to use the Mevo in just any kind of situation that you want to have your broadcast or just recording in. And then, of course, we've got live, and you can stream to all of your regular destinations. You've got Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, Periscope, and of course custom RTMP. And so it's very flexible. It can do a lot of different things for you there. And I know that a lot of people have been using custom RTMPs to go to different destinations. And Joe mentioned, I think it was last week, how RTMP is kind of almost superior to using the APIs. Obviously, the APIs make things easier, but the RTMPs seem to be a little bit more stable. Okay, so there's so many great features of the Multicam app. It's kind of hard to pick which one to talk about. But it looks like we've got some questions going on. So before I jump into the graphics, which is obviously a great thing to jump into, because the Multicam graphics are fantastic. But let me jump into some questions just to kind of keep things going. We've got Zeke. Hello from San Benito, Texas. Awesome. Never been. I actually haven't ever been to Texas, but I'd like to. Rob says, hello from the great state of Maine. I've been to Maine, and I love it, and the lobster is fantastic. So welcome, you guys. Joey, my 3-pack just arrived today. I'm so excited. That's awesome. The 3-pack has been doing extremely well, and we are really excited to have it. And I think very, very soon you're going to be able to see it at other locations other than just Mevo.com. So pretty soon that'll happen, and we'll get more Mevos into more hands, which is always great. Cade says, will you be able to add folders into the graphics overlays so you can have different setups for different streams? I use my 3-pack for different kinds of streams and do not want to accidentally put heavy metal overlay into a church stream. So, unfortunately, there aren't different folders at this time for the Multicam app. So the overlay, the best way that I would say to kind of handle that, depending on your device, but for iOS devices, you can do folders for images. And what I would do is just kind of have those separately in the Photos app on your default device. So unfortunately, there's no feature like that built into the Multicam app, but That's definitely a good idea, and you definitely don't want to do heavy metal overlay on a church stream. That could be not great. Um, AD says, just got our multicam today. My big question is connecting this to my digital mixer, Behringer 32X. What is the best way to do this? I don't know about the specific Behringer 32X, but you can pretty much do, I think that's XLR out. But what I would do is go directly into the Mevo start, whether it is XLR or what is it, quarter inch into 3.5 millimeter, and it has to be 3.5 millimeter TRS that goes into the start. Otherwise, it just won't work. So TRRS is a negative. Let's see. Billy Lane says, once you have the cams configured, can you shut off the mobile app without interrupting the stream? So no, not in the multicam app. The multicam app needs to be on and connected the whole time because it unlike the Mevo 2.0 app, the stream is coming from the app and not from the Mevo itself. So you do need to have the multicam app open at all times. Let's see. Randy says, I'm really pumped for the new features that are out because I have a wedding to live stream in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we've been releasing tons of new features and we've got tons of new stuff coming out really, really soon. So I feel you. It's been really exciting. Obviously, multicam just was released 1.1. And then the Mevo 2.0 app is now Mevo 2.5. And that brought in a lot of great changes as well. So we'll get into some of the multicam changes, and I'm happy to talk about the 2.5 changes as well. Ben says, I have a 3-pack and I've used it twice with NDI. I'm an eCam user and wondering how I can use the app to pan while using third-party software without dropping the stream. So, let's see. If you're using a 3-pack with NDI, so you could have... How do I use the app? Yeah, you can use the Mevo 2.0 app or 2.5 app, I guess, officially, to move around doing the PTZ pan and zooming while connected to eCam. So if you're using wired webcam, wireless webcam, or NDI, you could still use all the features of the Mevo as long as you have the app open and connected. So if you wanted to use 3 Mevos and wanted to control them individually, then you would have to use either 3 devices, or with NDI, you can also use NDI Studio Monitor. And what's great about Studio Monitor is that it kind of mimics a lot of the PTZ functions in the Mevo app. So you can do that through that application. And you can even use a joystick or a game controller. I've seen people use a Logitech game controller to do that. So that's one way to kind of have a cool stream. A Royal Perspective says, any information about connecting my USB-C from my multi-IK media iRig to an external microphone? Yeah, so I'm gonna need probably a little bit more information about this, but multi-IK media iRig. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know about this specific item, but it sounds like USB-C would go into, I guess, an Android phone or an iPad Pro. And so it depends, if that needs software, then it might not work. But if it just kind of sends that feed through USB-C, then it might work. So it really depends. But yeah, let us know a little bit more info on that, and we will dive into it. Randy says, Behringer X32 has USB 2.0 out, which should work with the Mevo. It does work pretty much everywhere else. So our audio expert says that mixer specifically may need drivers. And so if it does need drivers or additional software, it won't work via USB. It will always work if you just do an output into the 3.5 millimeter TRS port. So that's probably what I would go with. But yeah, if it doesn't need drivers, you could go with USB. But in terms of audio quality difference, there isn't a big difference. So there may not be a big reason not to go that way. Let's see. Randy says, I've used the X32 and Midas 32 M32 for years. Unfortunately, the X32 usually isn't anywhere near the Mevo, so it'll be a challenge making the USB connection. So you could definitely do a wireless microphone system. You could use a Rode Go 2 wireless, or you could use a Mevo mic. If you've got an extra device, like I've got this device right here. Let me see if I can pull that up. There we go. So this device right here, I'm sending the Mevo mic audio directly to the Mevo 2.0 app, and it's really good. It's a really good solution. It's free. Most people have that extra device, and it's really good quality. So definitely worth checking out if you have your audio very far away from your Mevo setup. Jamie says, can the multicam app be used on a laptop, or is it just a mobile device? Multicam specifically is only for phones and tablets, but you can obviously use multiple Mevos with a computer if you wanted to use wired webcam or NDI. Both good options if you really want to use a computer. Okay. Marco says, big hug from Portugal. Thank you so much. I needed that. Stressful day. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for the hug. All right. So questions are slowing down, which is kind of crazy. So let's jump into some other things really quickly. First, I want to talk about our referral program. We've got this great referral program on Mevo.com where if you refer somebody to purchase a Mevo on Mevo.com, they will get 5% off and you will earn 5% commission, which is crazy. A lot of people will message us and send tickets in and they say, we have been asked so many times at our sporting event or house of worship, what this thing is and how do I use it and how do I get one? Well, just send them to Mevo.com. Head over to Mevo.com/referral and sign up for the referral program and get them that little discount and get that commission for yourself as well. You might as well, if you're already talking about it, you might as well do it. All right. So we also have the Mevo Start 3-pack available on Mevo.com, and it's going quickly. Like I said before, it's been really great to get so many people to jump into the Mevo community with 3 Mevos. That means they're using the multicam app, they're using them connected to a computer and doing some great switching. It really, really gives you more freedom for what you want to do. And so you can pick that up on Mevo.com. All right. Let's see. Let's hop back into the app because there's a lot that I haven't covered yet. There's a lot in the app. All right. So, graphics. Graphics are awesome. And in the Mevo multicam app, they can get pretty advanced. Obviously, the Mevo 2.0 app can do a lot of the same things graphically, but the Mevo multicam app can do it so much quicker. So you can just tap really quickly to turn something on and off, and this is great. So this is a good example. A lot of house of worship, they share their sheet music so people can sing along. So that's really easy to do. You can add that. A lot of team sports, so you can have this. This is actually a regular overlay with text added to it in the multicam app. So I can go in, just tap up here. There we go. Change that score. And so this is great for everybody that's using the Mevo for sports. Really easy to keep that updated. You can do huge full screen. So this is cool for those of you that are, kind of gamers, or just want a really personalized look to your stream. This is really cool. This is fun to do. And to do these transparent images, you just use PNG files. versus JPEG files, but you can use JPEGs as well if you want to do full screen graphics like these. Multicam app can be connected via Ethernet adapters or wireless, or you can actually just also do a hotspot chain. And we've got a great article on the help section all about that. All right. Another, you can do corner bugs and over the shoulder graphics. Just really personalize your stream, and that's kind of the great part about the multicam app, is you can really make it do anything you want. Lower thirds. All right, now jumping into audio, let's switch to this. All right, so for audio, as I said before, I have the Mevo Mic app connected to the multicam app. I've got audio sound effects and music connected, and I've got one of the Mevos that is just internal microphones. So I can turn on this audio so you can see it or hear it. I apologize. All right, so right now, this is the audio that's being fed in through the iPad, and it's being sent 3.5 millimeter TRS to 3.5 millimeter TRS. And so that's how I'm doing that. I can just adjust those levels if I want, just kind of low background noise. I can also do the Mevo Mic app. So let me disable my amazing blue microphone real quick. And now I'm using the Mevo Mic app. And the great thing about this is it can also be used if I wanted to connect the iPad or a computer to this and send audio from that, whether it's music or sound effects. This can be connected to a audio mixer, and it can be connected to basically any kind of audio source and send that directly to both the Mevo 2.0 app and the multicam app. So it's really flexible and really, really useful. And then of course, you can do internal mic, and this is from a wide cam that is way far back. So this is actually zoomed in. Let's talk about the zoom feature real quick, because that's a pretty popular one right now. So there you go. So you can see that I've got pan and zoom capabilities. Really, really easy to adjust that picture. I'm trying to hide all my wires. It's very difficult, as you can see, just ridiculous amounts of wires. There we go. And so yeah, that is the audio. You can get really complex about it, or you can get really simple about it, but it really depends on just how you want your stream to be and how you want to use your Mevos. All right, jumping in some more questions. Marco says, can you show a lower third with a logo attached, corner bug, how to address how subtitles work? So, okay, first off, subtitles, this is actually a big point of confusion. Subtitles are not added by the Mevo or the Mevo apps. Subtitles are added on your streaming destination and are usually controlled by the actual viewer. So you can't turn them off via the Mevo, and you can't really turn them off for other people, unfortunately. It's just part of how Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, that's just how they work. And let's see, corner bug and lower third graphics, absolutely. So hit the plus button in the corner, hit graphics. As you can see, you can do over the shoulder, corner bug, lower third, full screen overlay. Let's do that lower third real quick. We'll say, hi, everybody. Cool. And so you can do black or white text. You can do 1 or 2 lines. You can adjust the opacity. You can adjust the color if you want to just kind of personalize it even more. And then, of course, you can add that little corner graphic. Say I wanted to do this. This is the graphic I used to talk about version 1.1. And then you can move it around anywhere you want. Let's put it there. And then to turn it on, just tap it. And you're good to go. So that's lower third. And your other question was for the corner bug, I believe. Lower third, corner bug. Yeah, that's right. All right, so corner bug. Let's do the 1.1 again. Corner bug is obviously a little bit smaller. You can put it in any of the corners that you want. I'll put it up there. And there you go. I can just have that right there. So, great question. Always happy to demo these really cool graphics features. Marco says, in podcast, how can I save my name displayed and play videos for sponsors? So, to have your name displayed, you would do lower thirds like I showed. You could also do a full screen PNG graphic if you wanted to do some like really customized fonts or logos or graphics. And to do that, there are lots of programs. I believe there's Photoshop, which is obviously more on the expensive side, but there is also I think Google Images or something like that does it for free. And then as far as nice, I like that. No. So if you have smart devices all over your house, they will jump in all the time. It's very, very rude. All right. So it's okay. Let's see. So let's see. We got some more questions. Joey says, I noticed there are 2 Mevo apps in the App Store. Do I need them both? So no, you don't. You can use the Mevo 2.0 app. You can use the Multicam app. Both work with a single Mevo if you want. Only the Multicam app works with multiple Mevos. And of course, there's the Mevo Mic app, which I was talking about, which sends audio wirelessly from one device to the other. So it really depends on what your setup is and what you want your stream to be like. But yeah, you definitely don't need both. But they are all free, so it doesn't hurt to have all of them. All right. Let's see. So we've got audio, we've got graphics. Let's talk about some of the new settings that were just recently added. So for transition type, this is actually pretty cool. So you can get really, really specific and really advanced for how you want your Mevos to transfer from one Mevo to the other. So you can do cut, which is what I've been using, which is just a quick jump from one Mevo to another. You can also use crossfade, and you can adjust the duration like this. Let's say I'll do 3 seconds. And then when I switch from one Mevo to the other, as you can see, there's that nice 3-second crossfade. I love how much you can customize it also. We've got slide. You can change the direction. Do all these kinds of customizing. So that's your nice slide transition. And so it really depends on how you want your stream to look and feel. And the great thing about this is that you can just really customize your stream so that you can work on keeping that engagement level high, keeping people interested, and keeping people entertained. You can do box. I'm just going to go through them all real quick. That's box. And then lastly, dip to color. Let's actually jump into this really quick because you can adjust the color. Let's do purple. We'll raise the duration. And there we go. So it jumps into that color real quick before switching to the next one, which is pretty cool. All right, so those are transitions. Let's see other questions. I'll jump into that real quick. Joey Gabra says, I noticed there are 2 Mevo apps. So same question. So we'll just get rid of that. Thanks for those questions, guys. Keep them coming. Happy to answer all of them. Let's see. So Auto Director. Auto Director is fantastic, especially if you don't have multiple people in your production. So if you don't have someone that can switch the cameras for you, or you just want it to be automatic anyway, then you can do that with Auto Director. Auto Director will switch automatically between the Mevos, and you can set the time limit between how long each camera is still on the screen. So if I want the camera to be on for 1 minute and 5 seconds, then I can just set that the way it is right now, and it will wait that period of time and then switch to the next. You can also set preferred cameras up to 2. So if I wanted, let's do this one and this one, then preferred cameras means it'll switch to those cameras more often than the rest of the cameras. So let me lower this down to 3. And this also, transitions are affected by this as well. So if you want this to switch automatically and use the edge wipe transition or the crossfade transition, it'll do that as well. All right. Turn that off. Crop settings. So as you can see, we're moving more and more apps, or more and more settings from the Mevo 2.0 app into the multicam app, so you have complete control over your Mevos like you're used to. Usually I raise my maximum zoom all the way up. This can obviously make the picture more deteriorated because it is a digital zoom, but I personally like it that way. I'd rather be able to go all the way and adjust it from that than not. So really useful. You can adjust the tap and hold delay. So if you're using a lot of the zoom functions, which let's jump into real quick. So let's go back, set the tap and hold delay pretty quick. So let's go to this one. So what I can do here is, let's say I want to have a slow transition. So then your camera is going to slowly transition to that new spot. You can do the same thing with zooms. Let's see, there we go. Yeah. You can do it with quick transitions, just like that. And you can do a nice zoom and pan at the same time. And all my wires. There you go. All right. So that is crop and zoom. And you can also jump in to image adjustments. These are just like the Mevo 2.0 app. You can adjust your picture quality. You can adjust your brightness, contrast, saturation. I've got my saturation up pretty high because I love the multicolored lights in my room right now. But you can do quick presets, just like LUTs basically. And you can flip the camera. A lot of people that are doing house of worship, they have their camera on the ceiling and it's usually upside down, so you can just flip that and keep it that way. So yeah. Jared says, this is awesome. Thanks, Will. My pleasure. I love demoing all this stuff. It's really exciting for me. Plus, I use them all day, every day anyway. So it's nice to be able to share with everybody what I do with the multicam app. Okay. So other than that, we've just got some default settings that I do want to mention because they are important to your setup. They might not be as exciting as the transitions and the audio and the graphic, but they are important. So we've got camera input quality. So this quality is what the Mevo is sending the multicam app. So if your internal network bandwidth is maybe not really good, or you have like a ton of devices on your network, you might want to lower that resolution. I've got a pretty strong network right now. I'm using an Eero Pro 6, which has been really good for me. And then you can jump into video source latency, and this is the time that it takes the image from the camera to reach the multicam app. So if you have a really good network and not a lot going on, you might want to set it to low latency. Or if you're specifically doing a chat stream, so like chat is going really fast, and you want to make sure that your video is caught up to that, then you'll set it to low latency. But I like it on high latency. There's no rush for me to get the image sent out, so I'd rather conserve the bandwidth and set it to high. And those are things that you really want to play around with. It's different than the camera input quality is different than the stream quality, which we can kind of talk about really quick. So if you go into live, in the top right, you can set your stream quality, and this is the quality that's going out to your streaming destination. And an important note about this is that the camera input quality is going to be the max resolution that you can stream at. So if your camera is sending 720p quality, then you're only going to be able to stream 720p. If your camera is sending in 1080p high, then you can stream with any other resolution. So that's just something important to remember. All right. So much going on. All right. Marco, thank you for everything. Come to Portugal. Thank you. My pleasure. I love going through this, and usually on Thursdays we've got a whole squad on here to answer questions and be even more entertaining. So be sure to check out our other shows. Let's see. Randy says, I'm also a big fan of high latency. It's nice to have the option to play it safe. Absolutely. Absolutely. We talk about this all the time. The more you can do to have a safe, stable, secure stream, the better. So if you have the option to do Ethernet, then you should definitely do Ethernet. If you have the option to set high latency, definitely do that. And of course, use lower resolution. You'd want to rather do lower resolution and have a strong, stable stream than try and push the quality and have a stream that's not as stable. So if you just don't have that internet bandwidth, don't push it, don't test it. Not worth it. Nobody wants to watch a stream that is choppy. I've done them all the time. It definitely happens, and it's not great. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for watching and for tuning in and for all of the questions. It was a extremely busy show. And, yeah, definitely check out, again, we've got 2 shows a week. Let me throw that up on screen. Tuesdays, the Ask Mevo Anything. You can ask us any Mevo question that you have, and we'll be glad to answer it and demo it. We have the referral program as well, which is, again, you save somebody 5% on Mevo.com, and then you get 5% commission. I don't know anywhere else that is doing something like this, but we get such good feedback from people saying that they're telling all their friends and family, and just people at the baseball field all about the Mevo. So we wanted to bring in this program, and you can check it out at mevo.com/referral. And of course, a 3-pack exclusively at mevo.com right now, but you're going to see it all over the place very soon. So pick one up for yourself, pick one up for friends, family. It's time. There are all of these features, and there's more to come. So thank you for joining me. We will see you on Tuesday, and it'll be a bigger group, and we'll answer all of your questions. And again, thanks for joining me, and I will see you then. Oh, one last thing is, if you have any questions that weren't answered here, head over to help.mevo.com. We have a great help section that covers not just multicam, but the entire Mevo ecosystem with tips and tricks and walkthroughs and all that stuff. And if you can't find your answer there, send us a ticket at help.mevo.com, and one of us will get to it really, really quick, and we'll help you out. All right. I'll see you next week.